Broadcasting live from the warm desert airwaves. It's Midnight in the Mojave with your host, Mojo. Good evening. Welcome, everyone, to Midnight in the Mojave. How'd everyone like that intro there? I just winged it there. First time trying it. What'd you think? Mrs. Mojo, can I get a microphone check back there?
I thought it was great. I was jamming in my little chair back here.
Good stuff. I was too. We're just getting the hang of things over here, so fooling around with some new equipment. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of crazy stuff going on lately, so I figured I'd bust out this little podcaster and we'd give Mrs. Mojo a microphone out there and we'd pretend like we're doing a real podcast. If you're joining us, let us know down in the comments here if you can hear everything okay and if you can see the video feed. And we are just going to talk about some stuff and play around with some photos here, share some stuff with you, and have a good Saturday night. How are you feeling this evening, Miss Mojo?
Feeling lovely. The temperature has finally dropped in the southwest.
Yes, it has. Oh, we are so thankful. I'll tell you what.
This is hilarious.
Thank you. I'm getting the hang of it, so we'll see what happens. So what is going on in the world lately? I don't know. Is it just me, or does it seem like things are getting crazier and crazier, faster and faster, or is it just our generation now, or is it did that happen back in the day too? What do you think?
I don't even know. It's pretty crazy out there. There's a lot of views, so.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, you can see from the title, it was UFOs, violence, and Vegas. And hey, I just picked those three things out of a hat. So if we continue to do this in the future, what will probably happen is we will take your questions and we will look through the comments and then we would answer those instead. And we can have a little type of Art Bell Midnight in the Desert type discussion. So on this channel, nothing is off limits. If you click on here from our main channel, you might see a little gist of what we do. And we do some haunted stuff, right?
Yeah.
But we don't do the real haunted stuff. Like, we're not there to contact spirits or any of that crazy stuff, because you can see with what's going on in the world lately, I'm not going to mess with any of that stuff, right? So let's get right into it, right? First of all, the violence. What is going on lately? I mean, if bless you if you haven't seen what's going on lately, right?
Yeah.
But more than likely you have, so really sad. Father and a wonderful husband was killed. Really unfortunate for his words, which, if you're trying to prove a point, let me tell you what, if you have to resort to violence to prove that point, you have completely lost the argument. No ifs, ands, and buts. This is proven throughout history, through and through. So I just like to go out on record and say, I don't care which side you are, right, left, up, down, BA, select, start. I don't care. If you resort to violence, you have lost the argument. So there's where we stand on that. But it's not only that. It seems like there's some crazy dark energy sometimes, right? I don't know if anyone saw what happened at Burning Man. So if not, go check that out. We'll have to pull it up in a browser. Eventually, if anyone's interested in that, we'll pull it up in a browser and cover it a little bit better. But just to sum it up, of course, there's a conspiracy theory that the Burning Man is like a pagan thing and they're there to worship things that, I mean, not everyone there, but obviously you can't tell what everyone that comes to an event like that is going to do inside their private quarters or off in the desert. So the problem is, people have been saying this for years, and they've also been saying that the trash thing is out of control, like the dumping.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, it's all over social media now. A lot of people have been covering it just to kind of show like their not very thorough up there like they say they are, which
Yeah.
is just sad because they have a very big stance on it, saying that they're very about the earth, and it doesn't look like it. So
Yeah, that's kind of weird too, because I really liked fish back in the day, and I was kind of part of that thing too. But it seemed like at the root of that, what happens is I even saw the older folks that came over from like the Grateful Dead and that kind of migrated over from that whole scene. And what had happened is everyone preaches kind of like a community thing. We can all, if we all pitch in, we can make it together in our own traveling community. We can go wherever and help each other out. But at the end of the day, if you stay around it long enough, just kind of like the Burning Man crowd, what you notice is everyone is kind of like locked in radical self-indulgence. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's just like you go there to get a dopamine rush, and upon a dopamine rush, upon a dopamine rush, and then it's just like when you come back to society, what are you supposed to do then? It's like everything's boring and normal, so you just keep chasing it over and over and over, and what it turns into is radical self-indulgence. Like, I want to go out to the desert and be able to do whatever I want with whoever I want, and on and on and on. And it sounds like a good idea at first, but now we see what happens. Someone was unfortunately killed there, and they said he was found lying face down in a pool of blood. So apparently, from what I've heard, they found him inside a tent. That's what I saw. I'll have to check if there was an update on that.
yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, so I don't think they really know what happened to him at this time, but they did say it was a homicide, so that is not good at all. So,
So we'll figure that out.
well, that's what happens, though, when you get kind of like a community of people that are just into radical self-indulgence. At the end of the day, it's just that that kind of emotion and lifestyle just bubbles up. Someone probably got too passionate, let's hope. But there's also talk going around that it could have been something weird, like a ritual or something. So who knows right now? I don't know. Being at Burning Man,
There's just too many stories, especially living in the state. You hear it from people that live here because they're a big part of going up into that general area above Reno. So
yeah, and
there's a lot of artists down here which do some crazy funky art, which is fun stuff to see. So they like to showcase it up at that festival.
there we go. Okay, we're still getting work in here. Okay, so yeah, I kind of got off topic already with the Burning Man thing, but we were talking about the dark energy. It's like somewhere like Burning Man, it's supposed to be where everyone comes together and has a good time. And like I said, you build your own community. Everyone takes care of each other. And what's the motto? Radical self-reliance. But that's the original motto, radical self-reliance. So you're supposed to go there and not be a burden on other people that attend the fest. Like, in other words, you're not supposed to show up like a pink sparkle pony and show up with like 2 outfits and a 12-pack of water.
You have to be self-sustained.
Exactly. They want people to come, and they want them to be there to help set up camp and to contribute art to the camp. And so theoretically, this was good because it worked out for a long time. Mm-hmm. But I'd say after probably about 2010 or so, Burning Man was really over. And kind of like just like I had experienced, kind of like the Grateful Dead scene and the Fish scene, even though people knew it was over, like when Trey had overdosed or whatever, he had to go to get rehab because he had admitted he had a problem and he was always on stage, like having trouble remembering the words and stuff. Well, anyways, just like that scene was over, but it kept going and fizzled out, and people didn't know it, but they still clung on to it. That's kind of what happened to Burning Man. And then, so that's going on, this is 15 years after 2010, and now someone was unfortunately killed there, and it's actually not the first death. If you remember, someone ran into the burn.
I know, that was so sad.
Yeah, so
it's just some weird stuff has been going on the last few years up there, and I don't know. We used to like the whole EDM scene, especially going to like EDC down here, but I just feel like it's different up at Burning Man now. It's not the same.
Yeah, It looks like Burning Man is basically a big EDC at this point. They haul out generator trucks and everything.
Yeah,
so,
it's pretty crazy, to be honest. I'm actually impressed on some of the stuff they haul out of there, especially with the terrain. That stuff is pretty fragile from what we've learned as we've looked up like different documentaries about like the actual flat itself.
It is. It's pretty interesting that they can haul all that stuff out there and build a city, but then you'll look at like a place like Las Vegas where there's homeless people everywhere, and we have problems with addiction and vagrancy and stuff like that, and sleeping in the parks. But somehow we can't get a restroom trailer and all that stuff and like a generator trailer out to the desert here so they have somewhere to go. I don't get it, but it would seem like the same people that would go to Burning Man would be the ones that would help the people down on their luck, but instead it seems like they just dump in all the cities along the way. And then I also saw what was a new thing. We don't want to stay on Burning Man for too long, but also what I saw a new thing was people paying. They'll go on forums and they'll pay other people to drive their rental RV back to the Bay Area or back to LA or San Diego because they don't want to be in traffic, so they'll fly in because there's an airport at Burning Man. So if you can pay your way, you can fly into Burning Man, and then you can even fly in somewhere close, like let's say Reno, rent an RV, pack it with all your stuff, drive to Burning Man, and then when you're done, you can either prearrange to have someone who's going to drive the RV back to Reno, or some people have even decided to drive an RV one way from their destination, from their origin in California. Like let's say they're coming from San Francisco, they rent an RV in San Francisco, drive to Burning Man, and then when it was done, they're so crashed out, they just fly home, and then they would start trying to desperately arrange for someone to drive their RV back to San Francisco in time. So
for transport, yeah, it's crazy.
It's just kind of wild, the kind of entitlement that goes on there, but how it's lost its way. So anyways, we won't stay on that too long. The point of all that was just to point out how there's like that weird dark energy going on, and it's like Burning Man's not really supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be the opposite. Well, at least I thought. Who knows, right?
Yeah, we've never attended. We only see what we obviously see on the news, but then also what we hear from friends and locals in the neighborhood. We live in the state, so it's pretty something they talk about here.
And if you want to see a good video on it, Iwu Crew just did another one because they had got accosted they got trespassed by a BLM officer there, I believe, right? And so they had to wait to get the body cam or whatever because they were trying to ask how you can get trespassed on BLM land when the special use permit had expired. And it's just too much to get in here too. Go watch that Iwu Crew. Iwu Crew.
It's hard to say. I'm not going to lie.
Explore with us, Iwu, EWU Crew.
Yeah, it's just
there you go.
Like their little. What is that called? I don't even know right now. See, this is what happens when you're late at night. Your brain's not on.
Is that so? I hope it'd be on because that's the whole point of doing Midnight in the Mojave.
Yep.
With your host, Mojo. And co-host.
It's the radio voice for me.
Thank you. So that we'll move on to that for now. So like I said, the point is once you watch this, we want to know what's interesting to you because we have so much stuff we can't cover on the main channel.
Yep.
And I also need to figure out how to get all this stuff working. So this is a good place to do it, and we can just babble on, and we don't have to worry about anything. So next on my list here, hold on. Look at my cool.
Look.
Oh no.
It
sounded like what was that, Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live, the little clay guy who would get squashed.
Yeah.
Hold
on. Do you have a sound for that?
Oh no,
Joseph! No, you did not pick something for that.
That's Mr. Bill getting squished. That wasn't Mrs. Mojo, everyone.
Oh my gosh, people! This is what we deal with over here.
Well, anyways, I wanted to, this is what fell out. Good thing I saved it. Check this out. It's a, oh, where's the webcam? There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, it's a little bookmark, but it's made of copper and sterling silver, and it's in the shape of a pickaxe, like we're going mining. Isn't that neat? Well, we got to get Mrs. Mojo's jewelry back online because she would. You have any turquoise on?
No, not right now, actually. Bad timing. I'm usually wearing something.
She doesn't have any of her own turquoise on right now, but we'll in the future podcast we'll get her to get some turquoise on, and I can describe it. But for right now, all you get is the pickaxe.
Yeah, we made those.
That's cool, but it's a little bookmark, and now that it's fallen out, I lost my place. So
Now we got to search for the page.
it's okay. We can do the page MSMR.
Oh my gosh, ASMR.
There you go. She's more into the trends than me, so that's why I have her back here to save me for when I sound like a boomer when I start trying to describe the trend.
Hey, I'm not that hip yet either. I have to still like figure it out from people at work that are younger than me. That's just weird because I was always the youngest in the office. Now I'm like the middle. It's weird.
That's okay.
It's okay.
We can still
Back
do
to life.
page ASMR.
Uh-oh. It sounds like somebody's digging.
It does.
It doesn't really sound like pages.
Hey, you guys got rats out there or what?
They are. Oh my gosh, you should see them. They're different.
And we're back. The second one was UFOs from the title.
No.
Yeah, I was
Here
just
we
winging it. So,
go.
yeah, what is going on with the UFO thing? It's like we had all that disclosure stuff, and with the, they had admitted the Air Force had video of UFOs and all this stuff. Like, people didn't know that before. But then after that burst of information came out, no one talked about it anymore. And
I know. There's just so many topics that are just popping out. It's just one after another. Ever since it became like January, if you think about it, it's just like overload. Well, actually, more like February. February was like the first kind of thing you've seen rolled out.
yeah, but all those people that had worked for the the Department of Defense and the whistleblowers and stuff, they had all came out about the UFO videos long before. It was like a year or two ago. Nobody took them
seriously, so.
Yeah, and then all that talk disappeared, and then now there's all this other weird stuff going on. Like, people here in Las Vegas are continually posting videos of lights in the sky, but we have Area 51 right north of Vegas here, so.
Close. Yeah. I mean, there's weird things that they're always doing trials on, so we're going to see some weird stuff. But, like, honestly, we've never seen anything, knock on wood, because I'm not doing that game. Absolutely not. We are not welcoming that.
Well, the problem is because of Nellis is right north of town here. With all the activity from the Air Force, you can't tell what's going on half the time anyways because stuff is flying in and out. And then, like we're going to talk about next with Las Vegas, it seems like there's just so much crime picking up here. I don't know if it's coming from California. Well, I do know where a lot of it is coming from.
Yeah.
It's coming from the judges and the sentencing that's going on here in Las Vegas. We're seeing that kind of same stuff in a lot of places with what happened to that poor girl Irenia on the bus in North Carolina. Yeah, and you, if you didn't know about that story, it was because that guy had been arrested and released some like 14 times, I think it was.
Unreal.
So that is wild.
So sad.
So it's not that the police weren't doing their job. It's that once they get sent to the judges, it doesn't matter because the judges have this way of thinking where they think they're going to do restorative justice, where they're going to make things right or erase the histories of the past by continually releasing people or being lenient on them. And it's just like, if you think about this mentality for a minute, it doesn't make any sense, and it's it's really idiotic, and it led to that girl's death for absolutely no reason. That guy should have been locked up
a long
time and
ago.
time
It's
over.
absolutely terrible. That should have never happened. That poor thing.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
But because we'll talk about that in a second with Las Vegas. But because of that, the point was with the UFO thing, we have so much going on in Nellis, and then we have Metro helicopters all the time because of all the crime, and then we have Grand Canyon helicopters going everywhere. So it's hard to tell if you look up in the sky here what's even going on. It's just very busy. And then not to mention, obviously, the stream of airplanes that come into Las Vegas every night, every day and night, 24/7. A lot of air traffic here, so it would be hard to know really what's going on, but there have been a lot of videos of lights in the sky, but most of them get debunked as people using those silly AI filters on their phone.
AI is getting out of control. You really have to pay attention. It's pretty wild.
And then that muddies the water even worse, so you can't, even if it's like, think about back in the day when they had a UFO video, a lot of them they could just debunk because of the technology they had.
Yeah.
Like if it was obviously made in some kind of CGI thing, we didn't have this kind of like AI generate me a video out of nothing. We don't have stuff like that, or we didn't even like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's fairly new. It's crazy what it can do now. It's pretty impressive, honestly.
But the problem is it poisons the water, so it puts out so much media that's fake now so fast, and you even see this on YouTube. It'll put out so much AI slop that it poisons and muddies the water so much that real creators, like real humans, they won't even float up to the top of the recommendations list. So when you log into YouTube now, I don't know if other platforms are like this, but when you log into YouTube, you'll see a lot of times all this unrelated AI slop where it's just like a generated image and then people narrating over some photos. It's really generic, but it floods the market, or I guess the video market, and then real creators get pushed to the bottom, and it's just kind of like a race to the bottom because YouTube doesn't care. They don't care at all because the AI videos generate the same AdSense revenue and from their advertisers as if you see us sitting here making this right now. Yeah, like YouTube doesn't care, nor do they. They used to not know, but now they scan the videos. So at the end of the day, a watch is a watch is a watch is a watch to them when it comes to their advertisers. So the only thing that will change this is if the advertisers realize that YouTube and related platforms like Reddit and Discord, where a lot of that hate and evil have been spread lately, because it's like a crazy echo chamber in these places, and I've seen some really wild, dangerous threats and some deranged stuff in there. It's really not good, like bordering on 4chan stuff, where no one should even be seeing photos and videos or exchanges like that between people. It's wild. So, and stuff like that, it really needs to be looked into, I think, because it's spreading a lot of the problems there.
Yeah, it's the derangement in our country. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with any of that, but I just want to say I don't think violence is ever right, no matter what. Like I said in the beginning, if you can't beat someone with words and ideas, then you lost the argument. You better go back with your tail in between your legs, and you better look through some books and study or something, or actually watch the person's talking points and then dissect them one by one without calling them an idiot or a fascist or a Nazi or a MAGA lunatic or a libtard or any of those words. I don't care who labels who what. If you label someone a word and then you use that as justification to do violence on them, you're in the wrong 100% every single time. There's no question about it. And I think
you lost. Yeah,
I think a lot of people have finally seen that, and that's good because, like the stuff we're talking about now, like the weird evil energy and UFOs and everything that's happening in Vegas, we're going to talk about in a second. None of these problems are ever going to be fixed if we go down this path at all. I mean, can you imagine, like, we could, some of you know we cover the water situation on the main channel. Can you imagine Arizona and California getting in another fight? Because yes, it has already happened. They got in a fight before over the Colorado River. Arizona had a Navy ready at the river, ready to be dispatched, to prevent Californians from coming up because they thought they were going to steal all the water, which is ironic because that's exactly what's happening right now. But my point was, can you imagine right now if Arizona and California got in a disagreement about how much water they should get because they're at the bottom of the river, and then they decided that one of them was going to go out and shoot the other water director or something? Like, this is just insane.
I just don't understand people's thought process. It's pretty deranged. That's all I can say. It's just, I don't know. It's dark energy, and it's just...
Well, and then there's people that say they want to know everything that's going on with the UFO stuff and extraterrestrials and whatnot. But at the same time, imagine if you were an alien flying around the planet and you saw what's going on right now. You'd be like, "No, roll up your windows, bro. We're out of here."
To themselves, clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. It's pretty sad.
It's like when you roll through.
People can't debate like 101. It's normal stuff here, people.
Well, yeah, but the entire idea is, how are we ever going to solve bigger problems like the UFO stuff that everyone wants to finally know what's going on? The what was I referencing before that? I'm sorry, I got off track.
I don't know either.
Mrs. Mojo for the save.
Area 51. Stop playing with that button. He's
Okay.
Selected all these buttons. Oh my gosh, now you got button attack. Look at that.
Okay, there we go. That's how you do it.
He's just doing it now.
Oh, I'm sorry, the water situation.
Yeah,
That's right. There we go. We just needed the audience to chime in a little bit on us there.
Yeah.
So how are you ever supposed to figure out bigger theories like the water situation, all the UFO disclosure stuff that people want to know? And then we're also trying to figure out the energy situation, because half the people want solar, half the people want wind and clean energy, half the people want fossil fuels still. So how are we supposed to ever figure out any of those bigger issues if people are fighting over what someone's saying and they're just going around talking to people? It's wild. So we need to move past that. I hope it doesn't go the other way, because we have a lot of big issues to solve, and that's going to bring us down to a local issue right here in Las Vegas. That's right. Mm-hmm. Did you know Las Vegas was in the Mojave Desert?
Yep.
You did. Very cool.
Yeah, it was so sad back in the day. I used to say it was the Sahara. Like,
because probably because of the Sahara Casino. Yeah. So she thought.
I don't know why I thought that. That's absolutely embarrassing. Oh my gosh, I was thinking Mojave, I swear.
Oh, check that out. We can get a screen change here.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, nice. And if anyone pops in here, they can leave a comment. Which way? Oh, there we go. Look at that. See, this is why we're doing this test run. You can leave a comment, and it should pop up over here.
Gotta pop up the muscle.
Let's try this scene. Let's see what that is. Ooh, that's a nice one. Look, because they can see. Well, calm down, studio audience. That's wow.
Guys, I know he put so much effort into this. It really took him.
I really didn't know they were going to like this one so much.
I know. I mean, it is cute. It's cute. I like it because, there's some people's are just so not tasteful.
I had that other screen on for half an hour, and there wasn't one person that commented or chimed in, and I switch it up, and all of a sudden people are going nuts. How about that?
You got a whole audience. Oh no. Bella's down here. Me and Bella. Woohoo!
Bella, what do you think about the stream so far?
She's chilling. She actually
Thanks, Bella.
Is just
real motivational. Thank you for that. Apparently she can play the trombone again.
Oh my gosh, this guy really has been itching to play with his little
They thought that
buttons.
was funny right there.
Oh gosh.
And the whole time I had like 30 minutes to talk, and then they thought that was funny when Bella made the trombone.
Heard that.
Jeez. Okay, what do you think about this one with the photos in the background?
It's nice. I like that.
We can also switch the camera off too, and look, they can just watch some of the photo show. Yeah,
name that place. Go.
we'll just let that play for a minute, and because we're just testing everything out this evening, getting everything working.
Living it up.
Mrs. Mojo is up early, washing off her Jeep, getting Jerry all sparkly.
Yeah, it's been raining out here, so it's been a crazy week.
Yeah, I'll have to put up some clips of that crazy weather at the lake. They said the lake was like an ocean.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I mean, I do believe it. It's not that I can't believe it. That place has seen some swells, that's for sure.
Yeah, what's up with Lake Mead? A lot of people ask us to cover some weird stuff about like what happens at Lake Mead with all the drownings, and I got to admit, it's really weird that so many people do drown or there's incidents, but a whole lot of them are car accidents, like DUIs, that don't even happen on the lake. But then I think a majority of them are boating or drowning accidents.
It's absolutely terrible. I mean, people go out there and do like the craziest stuff, not thinking the best stuff. So I don't know. I just think it's just being smart and understanding that's a big body of water and you're a little tiny ant just chilling on top.
Well, now I'm not referencing that part. I'm talking about when people comment about there being like weird holes in the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I believe there's currents down there. I mean, it's if you think about the terrain above, it's already very like jagged and stuff. And they do have pictures of it. And it doesn't look like it would be very good for like different water currents coming through different areas. I feel like it would be dragging one way and be the other.
Huh.
I don't know.
Interesting. Well, a lot of people think there's either cracks on the bottom, which obviously I'm guessing what they're referencing is there because the canyon is obviously jagged, and just like she said, when you see the top of what's above the water, it looks like all jagged rocks and stuff. It's got to be like that underneath, and I'm guessing eventually the pressure and the sediment probably just finds its way down. But people are convinced that there's like something big going on, like there's a big fissure at the bottom, or even in Lake Powell that where a lot of the water is being lost. And it's interesting because there's actually the Devil's Hole in Death Valley, where it's like an ancient deep underground waterway, and they've tried to measure how deep it goes, and they've never been able to get anything all the way down to the bottom. So a lot of people are I guess they theorize that part of the Devil's Hole is somehow connected to an ancient river system that goes all the way through Lake Mead. It would basically mimic the path to the Colorado, all the way underground past Lake Mead, up through Lake Powell, basically up through the Rocky Mountains. But somehow it's all subterranean, and that's what caused the Devil's Hole in Death Valley. And another interesting thing is when they get earthquakes far away in other parts of the world, it's measured in the Devil's Hole.
That's crazy.
So even it was like South America or Asia or something, there was an earthquake. The water there somehow measured the actual earthquake occurring.
It's so fascinating, to be honest. All the underground water. Okay, I don't know.
It is kind of scary, right? Because imagine being
it's one of my fears, to be honest with you.
You're like, Lake Mead is huge, and so is Lake Powell. Imagine just being like somewhere in a remote part of the lake, and then like you just somehow discover that there's a hole in the bottom.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, think about Lake Tahoe, how deep that goes.
I think they should get the USBR should get with the Park Service, and the USBR should purposefully drain the lake, like down by Hoover Dam, so that it goes so low that they can go out and clean everything that's been underwater, like clean it the best you can.
That would take years, you think?
I mean, I guess what you would do is say, give it a time period, like we're only going to give it one single year, keep it low for a year, and we'll do the best we can. Like just try and focus on the worst, I guess, but at least do something, because it's like right now, every time the lake seems to go up and down. Oh, let me switch us back here. Oh, look at that. Every time the lake goes up and down, there's more trash being revealed. Because people, obviously, like when it goes down, you clean it up around the water line. But if it goes up again, people boat and fish and whatnot, and it all floats to the edges. So then it's all there again. So it's like, instead of just every time it goes down a little bit, having new trash, and then it goes down more and there's new trash, just get it done with and drop it as far as you can safely. Get as much trash as you can, and then just call it good. And, you know, they're going to have to figure out what really to do with Lake Mead and Lake Powell, because if the drought gets really bad and we don't have a good winter, they're going to have to basically sacrifice Lake Powell this time and drain it up there, which might be kind of neat, because they said that's America's Lost National Park. Did you know that?
There's some crazy documentaries we've watched on just Lake Powell and what it looked like before, people who hiked down there. It's pretty fascinating, the life people used to live out there and everything. Sorry, I get like wandering mic.
So that'll bring the Lake Mead will bring us back here to Vegas, because there's a lot going on here in Vegas with the construction and the growth and the water use, and it's kind of getting really out of control. But it seems like the more they tell people that they're the problem and they're the ones using the water and creating the issues, the more people that come in and they keep building houses for everyone. But it's not like affordable housing where you think it's like, my buddy who's been working at the convenience store for the last 20 years and lived in Vegas right up the street, he can now afford a home. No, it's not like that. They build a home where they're so overpriced and undervalued that only basically people coming from out of state, like rich transplants or investors, many times foreign or at least out of state, like a lot of investors from New York will own the houses out here, and then they'll jack up the prices or rent them out for so high that no one in this market can even rent them out. So it's really sad. And then on top of that, we have the water situation. So it's like, how can you tell people to stop doing all this stuff and fine them and fee them and tell them they're the problem, but then you're building houses way up on the hill for all the rich transplants? That makes zero sense. It's very contradictory, and it's been pissing a lot of people off, not going to lie. A lot of local people, they've noticed what's going on, and they're really not happy about it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But that's only one little part of the problem, because here in Vegas, there is all kinds of crime happening. And I don't know, like I said in the beginning, if it's coming from California because of the lax rules there. And they, for a while, they had that 3-strike thing, remember, where people would get in trouble in California 2 times, and then because they didn't want to go to jail basically be locked up forever, they would flee the state, or California would pay to bust them somewhere else so they wouldn't commit that 3rd crime, because then they have to pay for their jailing and all that stuff. And another interesting thing I've read is the prisons have insurance, obviously. You have to have insurance if you're running a prison. If they lock up a violent prisoner, apparently there's a higher chance of them having to pay out an insurance claim, obviously, because if they take someone violent, they're probably going to go into prison and be violent and shame somewhere and do something stupid.
It's going to just cause chaos.
But it's an interesting theory, because if you think about it, it would make sense, because the entire other insurance, like the healthcare insurance, every other insurance business is rigged as hell. So why wouldn't the prison insurance be rigged as hell too, right? So if you're running a prison, you don't want to have a claim, because then you're going to have to pay out. Your insurance is going to go up. So when you see those violent offenders, you say, you know what, if we just send him up the road, or we'll just let him go. But you lock up the guy who smoked weed or sped or something like that, you lock him up forever, because he's not going to commit a crime. He's less likely to go in there and shank someone. So this is a really interesting concept. I hope it's not true, because that would be terrible. It would basically mean this whole time, people who didn't deserve to be locked up and serve prison times were locked up, and the people who really should have been locked up were getting let loose. And we're seeing what's happening right now with that.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating to see where this city's going, and a lot of other cities like it, to be honest. So I'm hoping for a change, because there's a lot of beauty to this city and surrounding it. So I don't want to see it go downhill, because it has a lot of history, of course.
It sure does. She knows it. You should know it too if you watch the other channel, right?
Yeah, exactly. We really love history, and Vegas has a lot of it, especially being, a train stop originally.
Well, that brings us to the other problem with Vegas. So it's not only the crime. This is going to cause what I'm about to say right now, partially, but it's everyone talking about how Vegas is dead and no one's coming to Vegas and Vegas is about to die. It's like we hear this every recession, and
every time.
Yeah, so it's like unless the strip is shut down, like it was during the lockdowns, where you could ride your bicycle up and down the Las Vegas Strip because there was no one out.
That's
don't talk about
dead,
don't talk about
insane.
Vegas being dead. Yeah, at least not to us, because that was actually quite enjoyable. And back then they were saying the same thing: Vegas is never going to come back. It's never going to recover. Well, it did recover, and what happened was, the casinos got extremely greedy. The corporate casinos got extremely greedy. They also, not only that, they got monotonous. This is the problem. Look, I had to even write it down because I had so many things that I could think of just in the past few years. The Treasure Island Pirate Show, gone. Remember how unique that was with all the actors?
That was fun. I mean, it was very Vegas.
Think about activities where you don't pay anything. You're just walking up and down the Vegas Strip, and you get free entertainment. That's how old Vegas used to be.
Every other hour or whatever their timing.
Well, every casino had the theme, like you said, Sahara. The Sahara, it looked like a Saharan resort. It had everything. So everything now.
Roller coaster out front.
The TI Pirates, the Treasure Island Pirate Show out front, gone. Mirage Volcano, on its way out now, gone. Already ended. Another thing that was really cool, you could walk up, going to be replaced by a Hard Rock Hotel guitar, right?
Yeah, it's going to be completely changed. I think they're keeping the main tower. I know.
That's what I think about another Hard Rock guitar hotel. So we had a volcano, and not only that, we had the Beatles Love Show at the Mirage.
I know.
So that was the second one. Let me don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. We got more. The Tropicana.
No sad vibes. We've had enough.
Tropicana's gone. Tropicana was one of the best places as a local to go to the pool for free. If you went during the weekday.
That place is cool.
Free pool. You could get actually affordable drinks. You could get a chair. You could swim. It wasn't crazy.
Whatever.
Yeah, all that. They took that away. They took the buffets away from us. Everything. They took everything.
Taking it away. Like, we've been doing naughty things. And
try and go to a pool as a local now and try and get in for free like you used to during the weekdays. It's not going to happen. And how if the locals aren't suggesting places and bringing their family, like if she has family or I have family that would come in, if they're not recommending people where they should go, they're not going to go. And the casinos did this to themselves. By far and large, this is the corporate casinos' fault. They're all monotonous. They all got overpriced. They all lost their identities. Most of them are owned by MGM and Caesars now, so they can just price fix most of the strip, which is ridiculous, and it's lost all its value. We can't even go to the buffets anymore, and they'll say, oh, well, they brought some Las Vegas buffets back, and they're all overpriced and they're all undervalued. It's like at least back in the day when we paid $9.99 for the Station Casinos buffet, we knew what we were getting, and it's decent.
Yeah, right? I mean, it was quality food. I don't think it was like the superior of food, but like when they had specialty like seafood or surf and turf, that's when they brought the goods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but now you pay
a little surcharge for it.
No, now you pay $59.99 for the regular buffet when you would pay that for the seafood or the specialty buffet like prime rib and crab leg night or whatever. Now that premium price is the price of the daggone normal buffet entrance. So even if you see people say, oh, they brought the buffets back, it's okay, you can go back. Don't listen to them. They brought them back, but it ain't worth it at all. You're going to get ripped off like crazy. The
quality is not there.
Yeah, so what you're seeing now is it's a massive campaign like these places like I talked about earlier, Reddit. Reddit is one of them. platforms like this, I don't know if people know this, but the corporate casinos have huge advertising budgets, and they will send bots to post all this stuff over forums like Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, what you name it. They'll pay out of their ad budget to post these articles blaming things like tariffs, who's in charge, the people that are coming to Vegas. They'll blame it on Canadians not coming. They will blame it on anything but the fact that they destroyed their own casino's value. And they know they did it, and they want you, the people that are coming to Vegas, they want you to think it's someone else's fault and they're doing everything right, and that someone else has to change and not them. So don't be fooled. I don't care if you see Vegas is dying. It's not. It's died down, yes, but people don't have money to do stuff right now. Everything is so crazy expensive.
Well,
I don't blame
honest,
anyone.
It's like a transition time. This is like everybody's going back to school. Everybody's getting back in their routine. Like, this is a normal transition time of year. I mean, definitely it's taken a little bit of part of it down there from what people talk around town that still work down there.
Yeah, people definitely complain that they're not getting the tips they used to, and they're not seeing the foot traffic. Yeah. But at any time that something like this happens, that's going to happen to Las Vegas. They say it's like the bellwether of the economy, because this is the first place you stop spending money when the budget gets tight. So
vacations.
I can tell you for a fact, if you think Vegas died or was affected the most right now, you're missing the whole story, because we knew the value in the Vegas Strip was gone probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and we stopped going way back then. We knew it was getting like this, and we had already stopped. So what you have to do is don't always believe what you read. Don't go on these echo chamber talk forums where the moderators will delete anyone that's trying to say something that they don't like. Don't go on there and believe this stuff. Ask the locals, find out someone who's reporting locally, find a cab driver, bartender, cocktail waitress, see what they're saying. They'll tell you the truth. Don't go to these news sources. They just want to rile up narratives and get everyone to act one way so that it can make a situation worse in their favor, which doesn't make any sense. So
no, it always backfires, but if they just come to terms, it would be better. I
forgot to mention another big problem is the casinos had sold their land out from under the casino so that they could lease it back, thinking that would be a good idea. They did it to save money in the short term, but it's going to cost them now like it is in the long term, because now that their customers and their income have dropped down, they can't afford their lease. They're like someone who signed up for a luxury apartment even though they know they didn't have a job. It doesn't make any sense. So now the casinos that sold the land, they can't afford the lease to operate the casino anymore. So a lot of people are saying this all has to do with they want to have the Strip bought up by one entity. So we don't need to go into that. That's a whole nother discussion. The point was Vegas it's not dead, but it is dying, and it is in trouble. It needs help. So I don't know if it's going to be more tourism at this point, because the problems aren't fixed. You're going to bring more people here, and the casinos are still doing the same stupid stuff. So would you want to see more people when you still haven't fixed anything? No, you want to fix the problems before you invite more people. So don't listen to that wacky lady, Shelley Berkeley, on the TV that looks like Nancy Pelosi. I don't know what happened to her, but she looks like they're wheeling her out there like Weekend at Bernie's. Like, who votes for these people?
I have no idea.
And she's on the TV begging Canadians, please come back, Canadians. We really miss you. But this lady will never go to the corporate casinos. Guess why? Because they pay her donations. That's
They're all
why.
Tied into it.
It's a big party, and you ain't part of it.
Nope, secret.
That's right. So when she gets on there and begs Canadians, but she doesn't go and ask the casinos to fix their BS, there's a real problem there. And you can see whose side is on whose side here. And I don't think you ever really want to be on the corporate casino side, because they are just going downhill there. I don't know what's going on.
They should have kept it like old Vegas. That was the good times. Oh so many cool memories. I have so much nostalgia here. It's insane. Such a weird childhood.
I wonder if they still have the dollar Michelob and dollar margaritas at the Casino Royale.
I don't know. Carnival Court.
That was our joint back in the day, right?
I don't even know. Oh my god. No. See.
Oh, we got the audience is getting worked up. Yeah. Carnival Court.
A lot of hidden gems. A lot of, not saying it was safe back then. I mean, it was definitely shady stuff going back then.
Oh no, it was a lot better. And people always say about Las Vegas that it's that it was a lot better when the mob was in charge. So I think that's probably true at this point. But they also are finding a lot of people in the lake, and one of them, they think it was tied to the mob. So, was it better when the mob was in charge? Who knows? It's not like they were doing their own crime, but I don't think the crime would be out of control right now. And they definitely would keep those corporate casinos in check. So, didn't they own the corporate casinos, right? That was all like
like the Flamingo, I believe, and then
that was the point of that show, or Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had like almost like a chain in different areas of the country, which is pretty crazy, and then other different businesses too.
It is toasty out here, huh?
Really? Oh, I'm chilling.
Oh, you must be, because you're at the lower elevation here, so you're just like...
it's nice.
Well, we got the three things covered. We got the UFOs, we got the violence, and we got the Vegas problems, and we're just getting started. So whoever watches this, make sure you leave a comment in there. Let us know if any of that was interesting, and we're going to get to the end now, which is the mystery hole.
Oh my gosh, this sounds so exciting.
It is exciting. This is where we're just going to cover some random stuff. So,
okay.
Today,
Hodgepodge. I
have Kenny Veach, because we left off in Vegas. I really like that story. That's an interesting one. Since we were talking about, if anyone is not familiar with the Kenny Veach story, go look it up or go onto YouTube, because his channel is still up there and you can watch his video. But long story short, he went hiking up there in the Sheep Range, which is just north of town here, kind of up by where the Air Force Base or the Nelson Test and Training Range begins, which is the restricted area. Well, anyways, he was hiking up there, and he went a couple times. One of the last times, people said he was making stuff up, and he didn't see anything crazy up there, but he said he found a cave that was shaped like an M, and he said there was weird energy coming out of it, and he didn't want to walk in there because he didn't have a sidearm on him. He thought the energy was that bad. So
nope.
What had happened was he had went back after people on YouTube here told him that he was lying, and then he never was seen again. He disappeared.
Yeah, because he had trucked back up there to prove his point.
Poor Kenny Veach. Where are you, Kenny?
Sad.
Kenny, can you hear me?
I bet he can. Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of theories on what happened to Kenny, some including whether he's alive and some including whether he's not. So that's an interesting story. We're going to cover that in the future. If anyone's interested in that, for now you can go and look up his story. Very interesting local story. And we have a YouTuber here, what is it, SB Vegas Adventures, at SB Vegas Adventures.
Yeah,
is that correct? Yeah.
He's really cool. He's been all over that area.
He goes up there all the time and explores that video on YouTube. It's interesting. So maybe one day we'll really know what happened to Kenny amidst all this UFO talk and everything crazy going on.
Yeah.
And another mystery hole topic is the lithium mines and the energy in Nevada, because we were up there. We actually drove by the biggest lithium mine, I think it is, in North America.
I'm pretty positive that's true, because that's what they kept saying.
Yeah, it's up at Silver Peak, which is northwest of Las Vegas, kind of right along the border of California and Nevada. And there is a huge lithium mine, which is actually brine ponds, and all the brine is sitting out in the sun there. Here we go. Let's try this side. All the brine's sitting out in the sun, and they let it evaporate. And then once it's evaporated, they scrape all of it up and they refine it, and that's where they're getting the lithium to make the batteries for clean green energy, if you could call it that. But if you see these mines, I don't know if you would call it that, honestly. So that's what I'd like to talk about maybe in a future episode, because there's a lot of folks who say we can do the same thing with sodium ion batteries. And I don't know if you've heard of those, Miss Mojo.
Not at all. No.
Apparently the sodium ion batteries, you can make them with just salt and water or just salt and air. That's it, which is an interesting concept, because another problem is the water situation, where California is always using the water, which they need to grow the crops, but they're on the ocean and they don't use the water. And they say they can't desalinate it because the brine is toxic, which is basically sodium and magnesium and all that stuff. Well, wouldn't it be interesting if you desalinated the water and the brine was actually used to make the batteries instead of lithium? It could be like a continuous cycle, right? Because we obviously need all these batteries to store the clean energy. Mm-hmm. I think lithium is a red herring. So that's my take on it. If you think differently, please let me know. I think lithium is not as clean as they're saying. I think it's dirty, honestly, and I don't think it's going to be the way forward. I think it's like an intermediary, kind of like how we had for the longest time nickel cadmium batteries, the ones everyone thinks about. We had those for the longest time, and then lithium came along. But eventually I think we're going to look back and be like, wow, look at that lithium. We were kind of silly for really pulling all that out of the earth. That was silly when we could have just got it right out of the ocean. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll see. Well, my hope is that situation can be solved, because if you can solve the water and the power situation, because that's another big thing, is we need more power in the Southwest. That's why we have these huge dams like Hoover Dam and Glen Canyon Dam, so we could get power to the Southwest. So if you can solve the energy and the water situation at once, I think that would honestly put like all of mankind forward a big leap, because that's what we've been worrying about lately. So
yeah, we'll see. Pretty crazy. That was incredible. That whole land, like with different pools, different stages. It was lots of acres.
Oh yeah, the lithium mine.
Yeah, it was pretty wild in Silver Peak.
I think I actually had put some of the pictures in here. Look at that. Bam, we'll switch over.
It was weird.
Or here, we got to switch over to the full screen.
You can see it
there
from satellite, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they look like big teal swimming pools, but it's because they call it a mine, but it's really just brine ponds. And then they they pump the liquid out of the ground, and then they let it evaporate in the brine ponds. So that's interesting, but I would love to own an electric vehicle someday, but I really don't want it to be lithium, because the lifespan on that is just not good for the money you pay. I don't care what anyone says. Like, it's really cool if you have one now, but the way I look at it, it's just like I'd rather keep my old beater and keep it out of the junkyard, or keep it from getting scrapped, rather than buy something with a lithium battery where in 10 years you're going to have to start thinking about replacing the entire power pack. And then I worry about, like, where's that stuff going? Because a lot of it goes to China to be recycled. We don't even reuse it. So it's kind of like, to me, it's like not the end all be all. I think if you can get the electric stuff now, it's great, because we use it in our trailer. We have a great solar setup with a little lithium battery up front. It's a little 200 amp hour, and it powers everything perfectly. Great. Yeah, it works awesome. So I think for smaller use purposes, it's good. But when we go forward in the future and we have huge use cases, like where we're going to need to power cities and stuff, I don't think lithium's going to do it. And I really don't think we should be tearing up the earth. We're already doing it enough for stuff we need, like the gold. And, we need a lot of copper for the coming AI and cloud revolution. Some of that's coming from Nevada, but people don't realize that all those microchips, they still use a huge amount of copper. So that AI processing that everyone talks about, that's going to fuel the market for the next 10 years, like the .com bubble did, all that processing is going to be powered by, what do you think? Physical copper. It's got to be in all the circuit boards and stuff. So that's really interesting to see too. So a little end note, because we are in Nevada. So the Silver State.
Oh.
There you go. Did anyone know that?
Yeah.
Yes, Nevada, the Silver State. So,
which I always thought it was crazy, but I always thought gold too, but no, they definitely have a lot of silver here.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I
It's
would
pretty
think gold too. A
intense
lot of
watch.
gold too, a lot of silver, but just a lot of cool stuff in
A
general.
lot of minerals.
Even if you're not into precious metals,
Like my favorite, turquoise.
yeah, you could still
Or
find
sapphires. They do have those.
some really cool stuff. All right, there we are. We pop back up on screen. Yeah, let's see if we can get this going.
We're just chilling.
We appreciate everyone who tuned in. Thank you. Please let us know what you think down in the comments. If we keep doing this, it's going to be fueled by you, the user, because it's really not all that exciting to hear me just blab on. Even Miss Mojo's getting tired over here, right?
No, I'm just chilling and relaxed. I like hanging out in the garage. It's a thing. As I've gotten older, I just appreciate hanging out in a cool garage with cool lights.
There you go. Thank you, Mrs. Mojo. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you, Bella, for your service on a Saturday, even though you don't work on the weekend. And if you like it, subscribe below. Let us know what you want to see next. And we'll see you next time on Midnight in the Mojave.